it pretty much overflew back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly.
And you can agree with me on like with CSP, like it was not a it was not a
Sean,
it was not a
yes.
how do I put it? It was not like a surviving clan. It was like a one-time deal thing.
No. I mean, like a one-time deal, but definitely wasn't a clan that would like strive like forever, because like people
Right.
get bored of smacking people, so you know.
Yeah. So, in comparison with that, with our stuff and how they declared war on VAC, don't you see like resemblance, like a lot of like, a lot of the same things happening, like everybody in the clan world being coming, like you had people like you, for example, Purple Micro, Green Goblin, Hey Pro, all of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
They came together, and then pretty much all their boys and all the people that they knew that they were influencers on, they sort of just packed into RSF. You had like the whole coalition deal with like TRA, Volania, etc. Right? So like all those guys joined RSF. You see what I'm saying? Like by no means am I saying
I
like
don't know many
RSF
PRA who joined RSF, because I know a lot of people that were in both, but I don't know any that joined RSF just to be primarily in war.
You can agree with me, like most of the rallies that they had with all those people, they had members from other clans, like not necessarily in RSF, but there to support them, right? Like the point here is not to say that RSF is like not as skilled as VAC, or RSF is not as doesn't deserve that number one spot. All I'm just trying to say is just point out the facts and be like, okay, well, yeah, RSF did good, but I think you have to. The way I'm hearing this is like everybody thinks that RSF built that up, and I don't think that's the case at all.
Well,
I think it was just one of those one-time things where the war hype comes into play.
I've heard the word at least 20 times in that one statement.
All right.
Hey, Extia, no one cares.
I kind of agree with that statement with you a bit, but like, then again, bro, it's Roblox. Like, I don't see
the blocks, dude.
I don't see any other clan like solely just like building upon it and getting better without the help from other people. So like, I could see what you mean by like it's kind of like CSP or CSOC, but then again, like, I don't know, bro.
I mean, it's like putting CSP into a super clan. It's essentially putting CSP into a super clan. Let's be real. Like, you have RSF, which is a long-term clan. It had its time where it died out. It came back. It died out. It was always there. It had a bunch of people that they used to get clowned on all the time.
Is Hay House
like,
a nigger? Is Hay House a nigger?
Dark. What the fuck, dude?
What the fuck?
All right, anyway, but you know what I mean. Like, RSF. One day, like after Purple Micro left VAC, and I could honestly get into the whole like Purple Micro thing when it comes to like him leaving VAC and all, but I don't know. We can set it for later. But my point stands. Like, I think RSF is a great clan. Don't get me wrong. I think that whole mentality of like the war hype thing came into play heavily during. And that's why RSF is quote unquote number one now, because all these kids, they flowed into RSF. When the entire clan world joined the clan, they get the activity, they get the skill, and they get the numbers, and they get the number of wins. And so I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think RSF, in terms of like everybody joining RSF, not necessarily building it up, I think they got that number one spot pretty fast based off of those sole reasons. But I agree with you. I think in a month or two, VAC's always going to strive on. There's no one to really contest VAC on that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think. See, RSF has been around for a long time. So is VAC. But this pattern of some clan going to war with VAC, getting a lot of members, and then it doesn't last. We've seen this pattern so long with TGI, Void, CSP. I don't know how many other clans.
I don't know if TGI
it's called closed recruitment.
Interesting.
Okay, so recruitment's closed, but either way, you still have a bunch of people who already joined before they close recruitment.
That's why you don't make the war terms
public. You can shut up now. So you had so many people joining RSF just because, more hype, more wins on this clan that's been established. Yeah, now RSF may be number one, but if you call it a year from now, I don't think RSF, as much as I do like them, is going to be there a year from now.
All right, but that's their fault for making the war terms public.
Here's a good time where I want to pull into like the whole Vactus thing. Like everybody's rats on Vactus and how he declined the war terms, but I mean, if you actually took the time to sit down and talk to him like I did, I'm pretty sure Purple Micro can even agree with me here. Like the time that we sat down and talked to the guy, the way he envisions the clan world is like it's pretty straightforward, and he's predicted a lot of things that would happen, including this.
Listen, Vactus wanted something that my whole group did not want. Literally, I don't see the point in raiding Maris with no terminal and no raid timer.
Oh,
like,
well,
it's like raiding Victa except with no term. Like,
I think another
maybe
thing
it's
is,
fine. Maybe it's fine for like a game mode, but like, don't call that a war. You know, I'd be down to do that for like game modes and stuff, but like, you know.
I see your point.
I did a whole vote for the clan. Nobody wanted to do it.
It's like the endurance war that you had with TGI and back. Like that thing was a shit show. I think everyone can agree that thing was a shit show. On both sides, having just constant raiding, and then ending up not defending, and then how everyone kind of knows how it ended with one side declaring victory and the other side saying no, they auto win, we won. This is going if it ended up with like the quote fun way, it's going to be a repeat of TGI versus VAC, but take place in Chuck E. Cheese.
TGI won.
Or Purple.
So
I agree with you. Like RSF, or excuse me. Oh, I just want to point out, like I know Vactus said something about the no like term time thing. None of the legates and none of the war staff even got a chance to bail on that. That was something that Vactus said without like no one really got to touch on that.
I know.
Believe me, I would have not let that happen.
Listen, I also told him that maybe we could like negotiate something out, but like
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I mean, he was so like he said no. And I even said endurance war. He said nope, not doing it, don't care. Literally said that. Like,
well, it's because like you said, the entirety of RSF, they wanted to go to war with VAC. Like it was just the fact that we were fighting like not necessarily like RSF. We were just fighting what they wanted to do. They wanted to beat VAC. That was their whole like purpose. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you even said it like in your speech because like streamed or something. You're like that we want to go to war because we want to prove to be the number one clan. Well, the thing is, Vactus is like way past that. He doesn't care who's number one. Like it's just how it is. It's just as simple as he wants the clan world to strive, and that's just the state of mind. Vactus has been there. He's done this already. He's done this multiple times with the CSP. All those wars, et cetera, and he's envisioning this. What a clan world's dead. It's not necessarily because Vac's killing the clans by raiding them all the time. It's that none of the clans really shares the same like devotion or loyalty.
Values, like the
same values.
No other clan.
Listen, what I'm trying to say is like what you guys are saying. So, like, all right, Cowboy, you can't deny it. All your legates hate me, and all you guys say is that we have no loyal members. But do you even know the reason why I left VAC? Like I just told you guys some of the reasons, but one of the main reasons that like motivated me to leave was because my clan was starting to get active again, and my officers are doing stuff. Listen, there's people in this chat right now that have been in RSF way before this whole VAC situation went down, and they're gonna stay in the group.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think don't get me wrong. I think RSF is definitely like one of the best clans in the game. Like I'm not even gonna put a clan as number one. VAC maybe like still the best. RSF may be the best or coming up to be the best. Like that's not the point.
I don't care about keeping this number one spot. It's yeah, it is kind of like shocking to like see this, but it's not like we freaking cared so much that we're gonna rub in your face if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not worried about it. I'm just trying to point out like I read the tier 1 thing, and it said something about VAC declining the war turns because we were scared or something, or something like involving that, like, or that RSF. Because the thing was, it's similar to like, and I'm not ratting on RSF. I think RSF is hands down like one of the most challenging clans in the game right now, just because of the amount of you guys resemble VAC in a way, because it's like you have the loyal members, or aside from like the people that joined solely for the war. Like RSF is still been kicking since then. It's just people try to get the wrong idea, and I don't want the wrong
Also,
idea being
another
spread.
thing is, you guys thought that we're just gonna use elites, but literally, tell me not. Even when I was in VAC, I would tell you I don't want to bring elites. Like, obviously, we're gonna bring elites to the war, but like, we're also involving our members. When do you see me in an elite raid? I'm always with the normals, so I could lead them.
Well, that's sort of the thing, though. Like, you're the leader of RSF. You're handling all the normal guys. It's hard, and you can probably agree with me on here. Like, you had the Widget ST guys, you had the Cowboy Corporation guys, you had like your coalition members. That's a lot of people to handle, especially.
It was just green.
Well, there was like a squad. Regardless, there was like a squad with all that stuff, and you had like green, like regardless. But the point being is that you had people spearheading these squads, and that's a lot of people that you're working with.
That was like the last 2 days before you declined the war that we started organizing it. Besides that, it's just been the main group, mostly CO rating.
Yeah, but the point being is that all those guys were there. It just wasn't necessarily organized prior. Like what I'm saying is that you being there, it was sort of hard for you to organize all of that together, and you missed things. You could have missed things that they're not in this. I don't know how to explain it, but the point being is that you guys had a lot of different leaderships all attacking back at once, and you being solely there with normals, it probably didn't. The point that we saw, or perhaps even probably didn't get to you the way it should have.
If you're saying I don't go to elite raids because they what's it called? If you're saying I don't go to elite raids because everybody else is taking up the spaces, I literally always sit out.
I'm saying that you weren't there physically because you as you said, you set out. You want to sit with the normal, be with the normals, try to help them.
Yeah, I'm always I'm always in every VC, just overseeing stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I went on alts too because I like raiding on alts. But
that's fair.
Well, we're getting off topic here, but like. In regards to the whole thing, like I give to RSF, you guys were able to rally hundreds of people, like, and you'd be that influencer, getting all these people into the clan, and you rivaled back on that because you had so many people and so many the point being is that I'm saying that I think RSF did fantastic. I just don't want the wrong point, getting across everybody like, oh, hey, RSF, they built this up over the past years. They're overall the guys that have put back, dethroned them, quote unquote. Like, I just don't see it being a dethrone. I see it more being a one-time thing with the war hype. Like, by all means, RSF, if you guys, take on the same principles VAC does and the values and all that stuff, and you grind out and you finally come, by all means, take it. But I'm just saying, like, based off that, clan list, it just,
All right, wait 1 second. All right, so we're talking about Zach, correct? Right?
What?
Shut up, Zelvia.
Yeah. So Vac, let's bring up CSP for a moment, all right? Quote unquote the endurance war, right? So during this endurance war, Vac was majorly losing.
Robots here?
Who's hitting offline Discord?
God damn it.
I can't hear anyone.
Alright, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, it's some fucking trash.
So as I said, it was like the endurance war was horrible. Like VAC hasn't been, I think, like top tier for a while. I don't see it. Especially with those terms, like that's just like telling people, hey, VAC's like not top tier anymore. Here are the terms, like we don't promote elitism, but we're afraid of losing our tier 1 spot. So we're gonna have this a friendly and fun war. We're not gonna have a terminal, we're not gonna have this, we're not gonna have that, but the first clan to surrender is the loser. Like what?
First of all, why do you have God in your name? Like what is wrong with you? Like,
because I am the Almighty God, Zelvios. Thank you very much.
All right, well, hold on. Let me give me a chance to respond to this guy. First of all, I want to point out that if you didn't catch it already, if you didn't catch it already, I said like at the start of like this whole like conversation that Vac's already been in this situation. We've already done this hundreds of times with this scenario of like a opposing threat comes up, everybody joins it, they attack Vac, they get wins, they get losses, all that stuff. Like Vactus are that's the whole reason the clan world died, and Vactus doesn't want that. We didn't decline the war because we were scared of losing to RSF. By all means, RSF, if they think they're better than us, go for it. I don't care. If you want to declare yourself, if you want to, okay, that's cool. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Cowboy, I want to tell you something real quick.
What's up?
What else is there to do on this game, man?
Nothing.
What else is there to do in this game? I know the clan world is dying, but there's nothing going on, man.
You could be like Aegis
Exactly.
and play Minecraft.
That's why we need to sit down and we need to think. Like, okay, well, how are we going to rebuild the clan world? Let's introduce something that's going to be fun for people that are not in the clan world. That's the biggest thing. Let's not have a war where it's the repeat of like the whole CSP back war, where all these kids join one coalition and just full up body slam back because they think that's just how it's going to go. Why not introduce something new or something that Vactus had envisioned without some of the stupid like terms in regards to like having no Port Maersk like
an issue
terminal or
that
something.
you're gonna run into is people's pride and your leader's pretentiousness. That's a serious issue for people, and it's kind of fucking annoying.
Yeah,
it's on a block game for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you know what's the solution to fix all this? Just like stop playing the game.
That's also a solution. Absolutely.
Drain, I think it's time you go back to playing. By the way, I got banned off that one game we used to.
Dungeon Quest.
Wait a second.
Oh man,
that's not the point though.
But did what I said make sense?
In terms of like, we'll re-elaborate because I sort of.
When I say people's pride, because from what I'm gathering here, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, absolutely. But a lot of this is in the vision of a bunch of other people, not in the greater expanse of the community itself. And your guys' leader's pretentiousness is kind of an issue, and it negatively impacts you guys.
Wait a second. Well, you're telling me that the reason that it's an issue is because Vactus wants to win, right?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all, actually. Unless you're saying he wants unless you're saying he wants to rig things in his advantage, in which case I don't mind. That's a common thing. It happens in clans all the time. That's not my point. My point is pretentiousness is a bit of an issue, especially with his representation for his clan and his view for the clan community itself. Am I wrong here? I understand like a lot of pride in your folks.
Well, I think Vactus is essentially came to the point to where
you're the worst fucking human being.
Yeah, you should ban it for that. Like,
yeah,
there's no need for that.
All I'm saying. All right. Anyway, well, to be frank, I think the whole reason. Okay, let's put it this way. As stated by M Purple, I'm not like, okay, once again, I'm not trying to like defame RSF or throw you under the bus or anyone under the bus. I'm just pointing out what I saw from my perspective. When RSF did their rally, that like 100, 200, almost 200 player server rally, and they declared war on Vac, their whole goal and what they said was that they want to try their best to kill Vac and take their not necessarily kill Vac, but like dethrone them, basically be the better skilled clan, and they want to do that with terms of which basically resembles the CSP war, where it's just literally just Vac versus them, and they fight to a war score, and whoever wins the war score at the end is claimed to be number one or something.
I'm not gonna lie, I do that shit for hype, bro. I don't really care about
it. Right.
It's just
so
it's like to motivate people, like, guys, we're not gonna get shit talked anymore. Don't worry, you guys are good. Cause we're losing. Keep it up. Don't worry, you're gonna win. It's basically just
but understand, like when Vactus sees that, he's instantly gonna think, well, this is just the same repeat of any other clan that's tried to war Vac or pose threat to Vac. Groups like CSP or Spectre Company or Cowboy Corporation, all these guys, they wanted to get a piece of Vac and try to basically say that they're better than Vac because they beat them so many times. Vactus sees that. His whole point is especially now in the state where the clan world is, by all means, combined in the clan world, there's probably like 300 people total that are active, 300, 400 people that are active. Whereas it used to be there were so many different clans with so many different sets of people. Bacchus sort of thinks to himself, he's like, okay, well, the clan world went on a slope when people started going to war, and when people started people started caring about who was the number one. When Vac and all that stuff happened, everyone would go on one side. There would be disloyalty, all this stuff. Why not introduce something new that that would be sort of different than what the normal war is, and centralize it on people that aren't as elite or aren't as experienced in the clan world.
So you're trying to say that you wanted to or Vactus wanted to focus war on getting people who normally aren't involved in the clan community involved.
Let me elaborate. It's not necessarily for us. It's more so like for the clan world to shift focus. Like, for example, like, because you have all these wars. Like, what is it? I think Grantic, you may know it better than me. It was like the Imperium of no. It was the My Direct group versus the other clan, Whites or something. Yeah. So like, for example, for those guys, those were both power clans. They were going to war with each other. They just wanted to beat each other and claim victory. They didn't care how they did it. They just did it. And like those groups like those, the clan world became so invested in basically grouping up and fighting each other. It killed all of like the clan's morals, like their principles, the things that they built up over years. Like Vac's been around for a decade. We built up off of this whole fact that we recruit people, we train them, we use them to fight, and keep going with our activity. It's like, whereas other clans, they don't have that same sort of leadership or that mentality that Vac does. They fall off the ropes, and when all
Cowboy,
of that
can I
is,
tell you something?
yeah, go ahead.
Something? So you say how Vac wants to train these people, but I'm not trying to shit on you, but when you were losing to normals at Marisk or any team with normals defending, you guys feel the need to sub them out to secure a win. I when I was in VAC, literally the Japanese Empire raided, and I brought a full VAC team who has never touched the base before. And yeah, we were losing, but we recapped at 750 because everybody listened and they wanted to win. They proved themselves that they wanted to win. I didn't sub anybody out. I always remember you guys going in my VC and saying, "Yo, you need me, bro, you need me. You're losing. Sub me in." Like TJE did that. Everybody did that. Even against Surge, like, yeah, lost against Surge, but that was because our team's fault. People started getting cocky in overtime when we literally like holding them inside door, and even as Ghost, he was raiding. Everybody threw, and then we lost from there. But
now
what you guys need to do is give these VACs the chance. When all right, let's see, who in VAC when Nura was in VAC. Yeah, he started getting more notice and more chances to defend and stuff. But you have to like look at these other VACs who look up to you, who look up to XB, who looks up to every single VAC that's up there right now. They look up to you guys. Just like one of my RSF members made a whole paste spin on it, on RSF, that he like basically they're looking up to us and they want to raid with their leads more often. And it's the same way for VAC. Like, they all look up to you guys and they want to be the best, but they can't if they just keep getting subbed out just because you guys want to secure a win. That's not the way to go. The only reason why RSF subs is against VAC, not against anybody else, just against VAC.
And then no offense, when you do that, you shot
Raider
us.
side is out, and
Whenever
the only
you've done
time we
that, we have
updated
shot
it
us.
was to make it fair and balanced, and we proved it to you guys. You guys kept saying how it was the defender sided, but we let you raid it with 3 servers. No, we let you guys defend it with 3 servers, and we won 2 out of 3.
You're talking about the
Arvor
servers,
the updated version, the one.
Well, I'm not trying to sway topics. I just want to point out sort of the same thing you did to me. Like Arvor, for example, we originally I thought I was under the assumption, like when I talked to you, I was under the assumption that we were going to do the Arvor with classes, or well, like with the game passes,
Sniper.
Yeah, all that stuff. And the ones we defended didn't have that, which when VAC rated you guys, we rated against you guys having classes all the time.
No, but you realize that it'd be an advantage towards your Raiders team if there's classes, right? Or game passes. It wouldn't be a help to
that's not my
defend
point,
the team.
though. I don't care about who would, be, the point being.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Arvor was not meant to have a sniper game pass. I did that shit for the money, and it worked out.
Well, I agree with you. I think Arvor is a much more Raider-sided base without classes. Because or game passes. Sorry, because I remember
if Robine can win against our best team at Arvor repeatedly, it's pretty Raider-sided, bro. And Robine, like they rated it enough to like, it's like.
I genuinely fail to like. Can you give me a screenshot of that? Because I genuinely fail to believe that Robine.
I swear.
Like,
listen.
Let me put it this way.
Listen,
if you put the people that defended against VAC, like all the Widge ST and all of like Drain Tick and all of them put together, like your best squad against VAC's best squad at Arvor compared to that defense team against Robine, there's no way possible they left spawn unless your team literally threw.
You're right about that. You're right.
Listen.
You're right about that.
Yeah, but the thing is, you guys keep saying Widges T, but there's only like 4 to 5 of them.
I remember saying Hey Pro, Ron, Alflash, Hooligan, Catalyst.
Alright, listen. Hooligan's
who
a
else?
high rank. Hey Pro is he's Widges T, but and Alflash, they've been going to RSF events before.
Hey Pro came back and he joined RSF. I know that for a fact because he quit this game. The only reason he came back was for RSF.
But he has been like
same with Ron. He only joined RSF. He only joined RSF because he quit. He quit. Alflash quit Surge. He joined RSF. Same with Hooligan. No, I agree with you. Like Alflash and Hooligan were. I can see Alflash and Hooligan being like try hard RSFers.
Hooligan's been in it since
people like Catalyst, Blacklight. All these, like, I don't see that.
Oh no, Blacklight's been in it for a while too.
He attends a lot of raids, and he's publicly said he enjoys raiding with RSF than other clans.
Catalyst has just been in it all, but I could agree that he's been more active for the war and stuff. But
which player zero? Let's see. What's their name?
That's Hooligan.
They've been in the group, but the Catalyst
right
been on all.
Cowboy check chat.
He just hasn't been as active as Alpha and Hooligan. Yeah, Ron was the only person who came back. Yeah.
Some gentleman mentioned this earlier, and this is more or less a question for the VAC individuals in here. Let me scroll up just real fast. This is kind of a sidetrack, but it's also kind of important as well. Hold on. Scrolling up.
Hold on. Divided. I don't recall Haper being an RSF prior to that at all, unless he joined just to sully raid back because he quit the game. He came back for the RCA tournament and then he re-quit, or he had nothing to do with this game until he started raiding.
CO was pretty active. We didn't only raid back. And we raided like
He had Widge, not RSF. Exactly.
Fucking stormtroopers.
Yeah, exactly. He.
Bro, it all comes down to
Alright, gentlemen, I found it. Arab download, supposed ESPer. What's your thoughts on that, buddy?
Yeah, I sent you all the screenshots.
I have not looked into any of the cheating accusations.
He's not in the blacklist. Yeah.
One
okay, alright. If that's not his department, then that's fine. It's fine and dandy.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna say this.
Completely ignores DMs.
Hold on.
I want to respond to that one guy. I want to see that. Can you repost that for me?
I tried to DM one spot, but he doesn't respond to DM, so it's not really much you can do when the VAC Hicom chooses to ignore you.
I don't think VAC should ever raid or consider war ever again until their hackers and cheaters are completely removed, or there's actually a degree of moderation. Yes,
yeah, but I love
it took way too long though.
Let me explain.
Alright guys, speak quiet time right now. Speak quiet time.
Question real quick.
Bro, it's fucking 3 a.m.
Ask a question real quick.
Stop.
5.
What? Is Different Sinister back in VAC?
No. There shouldn't be. VAC just re-suspended him for an entire year.
Yeah, I literally... literally XB was hiding it, and then I told Vac this, and he finally got rid of him. Like, everybody knew it was Ghoulish too.
Right.
All right, hold on. I need to get ready to go soon, but I want to debunk, or I want to look at this quote unquote debunked thing that he was showing me.
What debunked?
Apparently, everything I just said was debunked in a statement or something.
It is a 30-second clip of him at the base at the very end, and he claims that
Tobias, that's not Tobias. That's not what I'm talking about at all.
It's the
I'm talking about a document.
thing, right?
I'm not talking about Arab stuff. Where is it?
I mean, watching that video is actually pretty good.
Yeah, that. Let me read it real quick. All right. The truth is you're afraid of losing. Accepting this war with actual terms would have meant you were open to an actual competition, and you really didn't care. Wait, and you didn't care about losing. With strength, the competitive and casual side of the genre. Unfortunately, you care too much about losing. That's why you propose that ridiculous term. Losing wars are boring, and it didn't matter to you. Oh, excuse me. Long wars are boring, and that didn't matter much. Wait a second. I just read that right. It says you'd refuse to surrender. At the end, it'd be another CSP event all over again. So you're going to compare the RSF VAC war to a CSP war all over again because we didn't want to do a war score.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, do you acknowledge the fact that the whole point of this conversation was to sort of, write against going into a war dedicated to solely for winning or losing, as stated by RSF.
Am I correct? You say
essentially, like into a war solely based off elitism, where one side is destined